Pierre Rainier Stefano Casiraghi is the younger son of Caroline, Princess of Hanover, and her first husband, Stefano Casiraghi. Casiraghi is the seventh in the line of succession to the Monegasque throne, following his twin cousins, his mother, brother Andrea, nephew Alexandre, and his niece India Casiraghi. Early life and education. Casiraghi was born at the Princess Grace Hospital, in Lacolle, Monaco. He is named after his maternal great-grandfather, Prince Pierre, Duke of Valentinois, his maternal grandfather, Prince Rainier III, and his father. His godparents are his uncle, Prince Albert II, and his aunt by marriage Laura Sabatini Casiraghi, the wife of his uncle Daniel. Casiraghi was 3 years old at the time of his father's death in a boating accident. He spent his earliest years, after his father's death, living at his mother's farmhouse in the quaint town of Saint-Roi-de-Provence. He attended a state school in Saint-Roi-de-Provence. However, after his mother's remarriage to Ernst August V, Prince of Hanover, the family moved to Fontainebleau, to be nearer to Paris and London, the latter being where his new stepbrothers lived with their mother. It is assumed that Casiraghi passed the French baccalaureate exam in the summer of 2005, since he shortly afterwards began university. 1 year later, in fact, he moved to Milan to begin a 3-year undergraduate course in international economics and management at Bocconi University. Besides French, he is fluent in Italian, English, and knows some German. He also plays the saxophone. Personal life. It is believed that he uses his economics degree towards learning the business of his father's companies, which are also managed by his uncle Marco. Casiraghi was linked to a number of young women during his university years in Milan. He was photographed out and about with fashion models. But Casiraghi's longest and most serious romantic attachment to date has been since May 2008 the aristocratic journalist Beatrice Borromeo. They were married in a civil ceremony on July 25, 2015 in the gardens of the Prince's Palace of Monaco. The religious ceremony took place on Isola Bella on August 1, 2015. In February 2012, Casiraghi was briefly hospitalized following a physical altercation at a New York nightclub. According to media reports, Casiraghi approached the table of businessman Adam Hock, models Natasha Polly, Anja Rubik and Valentina Zalaeva. Words were exchanged and an altercation ensued. Hock was arrested on 4 counts of assault, and he is alleged to have struck Casiraghi as well as 3 male friends. Hock, who was arrested and charged on 8 counts of misdemeanor assault, alleges that Casiraghi was the aggressor and that he assaulted Casiraghi and his companions in self-defense. Casiraghi was treated at New York Presbyterian Hospital for a laceration, bruising, and swelling of his face. Humanitarian and business activities. From January 30 to February 13, 2007, Casiraghi accompanied his mother on a humanitarian tour of Africa. They visited Niger, Burundi, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and South Africa on behalf of Princess Caroline's role as president of AMADE Mondiale. In June 2009, Casiraghi became the majority shareholder of the Monaco-based construction company Ingeco, which his father founded in 1984. His uncle Marco remains in the position of president over Ingeco. The acquisition of the majority shares to Casiraghi's name was handled by the Milan-based legal firm Bird & Bird. Casiraghi is also the majority shareholder of Monaco. Casiraghi founded the A-Euro sale for a cause charity race. He is on the management committee of the Yacht Club de Monaco. In 2011, Casiraghi was indoctrinated as an honorary member of the Jeune Chambre économique de Monaco. Inshore racing. Casiraghi is a participant in the sport of inshore racing, which differs from offshore racing in that it is done along the coastlines. In January 2014, he was part of the Maserati team in the Cape to Rio competition. His team completed the journey from Cape Town to Rio in a record 10 days, 11 hours, 29 minutes, and 57 seconds. Casiraghi was a crew member of the Monaco racing fleet captained by Thomas O'Keefe, which was first to cross the finish line in the 2013 edition of the Palermo Monte Carlo Regatta. Casiraghi and the Monaco racing fleet also won the 10th edition of the Palmera Monte Carlo race in August 2014. Casiraghi's boat, the Summit Europa 2, was the winner of the Giraglio Rolex Cup in June 2014. Car racing, Casiraghi is a fixture in the Monte Carlo Historic Rally, a vintage car race that happens every year in January. However, in May 2014, he competed for the first time in a professional car race. It was the Volkswagen Scirocco Cup in Hockenheim. He was a celebrity guest starter in the race, driving car number 26, and finished 22nd in the first race and 20th in the second race. He said he was encouraged to do the race by family friend and racing legend Jackie Ickx. Ancestry. References